Welcome back, everybody, to Mode Cup Clam Blitz Edition. My name is Bio. I am joined here by Peachy, and we are going to be delivering you this second half of this tournament. We hope you all have been seeing some great sets in the stream, and we just hope that things are going to get even more hype from here on out.
Oh, for sure. I don't know about you, but I'm super hyped to watch this set. I love both these teams. There's some pretty notable players on both, so this can go either way.
No, yeah. On one side we have Grougrou. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. It is a Japanese pickup alongside Alliance Rose, one and only Gray, facing up against Moonlight, a pretty new top level team consisting of some pretty big names: Shadow, SS Nolan, Basil, etc. And we're going to be seeing them duke it out here on Wahoo World, well, Clam Blitz, of course, with these two teams running some pretty aggressive compositions, but Moonlight opting to go with a Kraken in 96 deco. Not something we see a lot, but it's going to struggle a little bit with these aggressive plays that we're seeing come out from Grougrou's Zap player, getting 2 picks right off the bat and setting up their teams for a pretty aggressive push if they can pull it off.
Now, I quite like the pick of 96 Deco on Wahoo World Clam Blitz. It's different, but it's definitely something that can work if played correctly, you know?
Oh, no, yeah, for sure. I mean, we did see a bit of a fall-off, mostly due to the new meta not really letting Kraken shine as much, and also the novelty of Kraken dying down. But it is definitely a solid pick, and the player is dedicated as Essence Nolan is to those mid-liney picks such as his signature Splattershot Pro, and of course more recently the 96 Gal. That definitely can make it work if they play their cards right and pair up with this Rotana Wiper Deco coming out on the side of Moonlight, which is also putting in some good work right here. But even with all that, they're struggling to get more points on the board aside from that single power climb that they managed to score. That's not quite the push that you want to see. It only gives Grougrou a pity clam and not much else towards your team. So Moonlight definitely need to start setting up a better push here in the future if they want to get more map.
Yeah, we just see him get that pretty cheeky Kraken jump. But other than that, they're really struggling against Grougrou just to push in. With Grougrou already putting in the power clam and taking lead and getting some good points in, Moonlight really has to just like recuperate and look at their situation and try to get clam economy as fast as possible.
Yeah, but Moonlight actually does a pretty good job defending. Doesn't really let them get too much out of their push. I mean, sure, lead of 59 is definitely nothing to scoff at, but definitely Grougrou could have played that engagement a little bit better. Basil managing to put out a lot of midline and long range pressure with that ball point, which kept Grougrou just enough at bay to keep them off of the basket. But it might not even matter as they come in with this ultra stamp, clearing the way for Gray to get yet another power climb in and set up another push for their team, extending their lead all the way to 50 and possibly more if MGR Naru can keep this going. We're seeing the Squeezer get so many picks, a triple with that Zuka. That's now going to lead them all the way to 21 points remaining. That is a massive push on the side of Grougrou and Moonlight. If they can manage to defend against this and keep Grougrou from pulling off a knockout, which they actually might not even do, they will not, as they push it all the way to 3, get that final clam in, and before you know it, Grougrou takes game 1.
Yeah, Grougrou played it really impressive there. The stamp really opened up that push, but like you got to give credit to that Squeezer Zuka, man. Getting that triple into the wipe just sold the game for them. That was GG's from there.
Yeah, no, that Squeezer just pulled off some incredible plays there at the end, spearheading the push for their team, making so much space through the raw amount of picks that they managed to pull off. That's the strength of Squeezer. You know, it is an absolutely bonkers main weapon for fighting. It may not have the best paint, and it doesn't have a bomb to poke, but the special and main weapon combination just have so much splatting power that if the player finds a good opportunity and take advantage of it, it's nigh impossible to stop them. But yeah, regardless, we're going to be moving on real quickly to game 2 here. Of course, Clan Blitz on Mincemeat Metalworks. Definitely a nice change of pace compared to Wahoo World, but for a much more slower playstyle coming up from these two teams. But aside from that, do you think we're going to be seeing any weapon changes on the side of Moonlight, Peachy, since maybe they might want to try some new strategies against Grougrou's raw aggression?
I do think, I mean, it's Clan Mincemeat. It's pretty notorious for being pretty slow and really only getting 1 or 2 decent pushes in. So I think I can expect Basil here to swap over to his E-Leader. Leader here just does so much work. It can pressure all the way onto enemies' trucks and just completely stop a push from being, like, you're super safe while sniping them. So I think that'll be his pick. It should be able to enable his team to push in. I think the 96 Deco here, or a Pro as well. I think the Pro, actually. I think the Pro with either Crab or Booyah Bomb. You know, they're both good picks, especially on Mincemeat.
That's pretty interesting, honestly. Of course, I mentioned the fact that SS Nolan is well known for his for him pushing Spottle Shot Pro, you know, for several times throughout his competitive career. But yeah, recently we've seen it on the 96. But it's a pretty good theory that he might whip out maybe the Forge, maybe the Vanilla Pro, try to get some mileage out of that Crab tin. Pretty interesting theory, but only time will tell, and actually it will show off that it's neither. It is actually going to be going to the Vanilla Splatter Shot for the Trizuka, and Shadow actually with the brand new Sorella Tentabrella. We're seeing a double Trizuka composition come out on the side of Moonlight. Very ambitious to see them whip that out. Maybe they definitely have a plan, but it doesn't seem to be working as well as they wanted to, as they get a delayed wipeout with Grougrou already in the driver's seat.
Yeah, a bit of a rough start on Moonlight, but their comp can go off if played correctly. That Tenebrella, while most people might think, oh, it's a tent, you know, it's not great. On this map in specific, I think tent has a legit niche here, being able to push over those grates without having to worry about anybody really stopping your push.
Yeah, no, that Tenebrella just does wonders when stalling out the other team, but also when paired with, you know, the infamous E-Leader on this map, and especially in the hands of such a capable players such as Basil, it's going to be really difficult for Grougrou to make it past mid without just dealing with, you know, the Tenebrella wall, the E-Leader laser. It's just going to be really difficult for them, and we're already seeing them getting pushed back by all the pressure. They can't even move out of their spawn, basically, with Basil just holding down the fort. But actually, we see them take their eye off the left side just for a second, and immediately the Squeezer in there to punish it gets 3, and now has their sights set on the Wiper, manages to get it with some help from their teammates, and now just keeps on going with this rampage. This is what I was talking about in the last game. If that Squeezer goes unchecked and finds some good opportunities, good Japanese Squeezers can really take the opportunity and run with it, which is definitely what we're seeing. Grougrou just playing off of that Squeezer's raw amount of picks and hitting some great pushes here, already making it all the way to 23.
And that's 2 games in a row where we've seen the Squeezer just enabling Grougrou just to push in and pretty much take it from 100 to 0 just like that in one clean push. Down to 8, all I gotta do is put in like 3 or 4 more clams. Oh, and that's game.
Yeah, like, yeah, I mean, as we were talking, you know, just the Grougrou just kept on pushing those clams forward, and honestly, Moonlight seemed to have a pretty good push set up there in the middle of the map, pushing Grougrou back into their spawn, but again, it's just, they let their guard down for a second, and Grougrou just ranked up the pace of play to unbearable levels, pushing it all the way to a knockout, and setting themselves up for a swift match point against Moonlight.
Like, with that new Zuka buff from this previous patch, definitely eating really well, making it a lot more consistent, and it's definitely showing here. I mean, that's 2 games where the Squeezer pops Zuka and just completely overruns Moonlight. Just because of the Zuka.
Well, not even just because of the bazooka. Also, you can see how the player is so skilled with the main weapon. Like, I mean, sure, the bazooka great for some plays, but the main weapon is doing so much heavy lifting right now. It's doing a great job of countering, a lot of the weapons on Moonlight. Like, for example, the splatter shot coming out from SS Nolan. They could barely do anything unless they got the jump on the Squeezer, right? The Squeezer was just always walling out the Slayers on Moonlight and really making it difficult for them to get anywhere near Grougrou.
Oh, for sure. Like, even though Moonlight didn't win that match, I love watching pro level and high level players push the meta with like niche picks that nobody would expect, and like I gotta give the tent some more credit as well. Like, it's a really good pick in theory. Just going against Grougrou here, they're super strong. Maybe a little more refinement. That tent could be a monster. We saw him holding his own against that team, but unfortunately, just wasn't enough.
Yeah, sure. But regardless, the past is in the past, and now we're seeing Moonlight struggling with all this pressure. They're now in a position where they need to reverse sweep if they want to stay in this bracket, with now Grougrou going to a game 3, a possible match point for them on Clam, Blitz, Barnacle, and Dime. Now, I've mentioned this a lot. I have never actually played on this map myself. It just never shown up in any solo queue rotations for some reason. So I can't say I have that much experience, but maybe you can tell me a little bit more about this map and how you think these two teams will approach it, PG.
It's definitely an interesting map. The only real experience I've ever had was in a collegiate tournament I played in, but it's very mid heavy. If you don't win mid, no one's gonna be able to sneak in because this map doesn't have any amazing flank routes to like really speak of. So, but the pick from Basil with that Rapid Pro Deco against that Jet Squelcher is a very interesting matchup. I think that blaster there could enable them to push through mid pretty easily if played correctly.
Yeah, we've seen the Rapid Pro Deco get a lot of side eyes from top level players, just kind of interested in pushing the weapons position in the meta, but it's just kind of been a little bit outshined by other backline picks, such as especially Ballpoint. But it is really nice to see Basil try to push it, but it doesn't seem to be working as well as they might like it to. As once again, Moonlight go 3 down. I mean, Grougrou did sustain some casualties of their own, but it's once again this Squeezer in such an aggressive position. They just do not die, getting pick after pick after pick. They eventually do go down to Basil's indirects, but it's still not enough. What with AR Gray once again inside Moonlight's spawn. They do jump out, they have that tactic cooler, but man, Moonlight is struggling to keep up with the pace of play that Grougrou is setting out for them. They have this Kraken trying to make something happen, but not quite. Just gets no picks, does get SS Nolan behind Grougrou's positioning, but it's still not enough. They open the basket once again, and Moonlight is once again 2 down, with Grougrou not having a single member down.
Now, maybe I didn't catch this before, but on the side of Grougrou, they have a custom jet and the Squeezer, so major range advantage with a lot of firepower, and like, as a C-Jet main myself, the insane support that it can offer is just ridiculous, and they are playing so well to that advantage.
But yeah, and honestly, that paired with the Squeezer, paired with the raw, QR aggressiveness that the Viper coming out from the MDR player is just so devastating for Moonlight, and they just can't seem to win a single team fight. Grougrou is just almost effortlessly clearing through Moonlight's defenses, wiping them out several times. And once again, we see Moonlight do with a 3-down situation, with Grougrou throwing yet another power clamp into the basket. Now with 7 points remaining, Grougrou just need a handful more clams to seal this. They just need one more in, and that is going to be the last clam coming out from Grougrou, sealing them a spot in the next bracket set and giving them a swift 3-0 set win over Moonlight.
Yeah, they've definitely proved that they belong in finals here and that they want to take this trophy home. This is their tournament. Clean 3-0 sweep against Moonlight. Barely lost any points, won most team fights. Their coordination is unparalleled. I mean, I think they have a really good shot of winning this whole event if they keep up heat like that.
Yeah, you just saw how Grougrou was just so cleanly building off of each other, always knowing where each other were and just building off of their plays. The squeezer would attract a lot of aggression. The wiper was there to just blindside them, or vice versa. The siege that always throwing down covering fire to their slayers. It was just, they were like a well-oiled machine, and that amount of just almost perfect Splatoon was a little bit too much for Moonlight to handle. We are going to be seeing Moonlight take a crack at losers bracket, see if they can claw their way up. Possibly, we might see them in a grands if they can pull off a nice enough streak there. But we will be seeing Grougrou move on to winners finals against either Jackpot or Destiny. They are still in their match as we speak. But without further ado, we're going to be taking a short break to set up winners finals for you all. So this is definitely starting to reach the climax, moving towards the end of the tournament, those winners finals, those grand finals, and the possible bracket resets. So things are really starting to heat up. You do not want to miss this. Stay tuned.